protection. They'll probably say that I'm speaking in reprehension like LeBron when he left Cleveland. I don't need any permission to express my feelings. I dreamed it, this is my premonition. They try to recondition Christians through these new inventions. The reinvention of religions through these television. Shit is different. I ain't with it cause the shit is wicked. I'ma weather the storm, I'll never surrender. Learning from my ancestors that took the fall like September. My skin color getting judged like fat versus slender. If I was transgender, I'd get praised like Bruce Jenner. I'm not here to judge cause in the end, we all sinners. At least in God's eyes, the only vision a real mirror. Take them blinders off and you'll see a lot clearer. It's not about yourself, you gotta see the bigger picture. Hold up. If money is happiness, then why is it suicides? Are they stressing from bills or a loan that was subsidized? When I turn the news on, only bullshit gets publicized. Neglection of different wars, skin colors and genocides. Is it conspiracies or is it organized? Good people get crucified, the evil gets sanctified, glorified through the media and the clothing lines. Why when I ask these questions, people look so surprised. Gotta question everything like Joel Osteen's mansion. Some people wondering why people getting held for ransom. Endorsements of violence in every single rap anthem. That's the key to making your album go platinum. It's easy to make money, but it's harder not to spend it. We all guilty of it, it's a constant hypnotism. I guess it's safe to say that I'm the new renegade. I wanna dedicate my music to the people that always hate. On the track of Ruler Y, only the strongest survive. Jay Kirk, let's make it work.
Yeah, this guy's dope. Like I've been watching his live stuff on YouTube, and it's like I can't even listen to his album.
Like live, like back in the 1950s.
Oh no,
really?
this guy's from like now, but he could be from the 50s. Yeah, sometimes he plays on just like a shitty little amp. That's kind of where I was like, man, I like that sound. Like the sound is kind of distorted, but it's not like it's kind of like the original
they would take a
distortion
chord.
was like you're hacking the amp to make that sound. You
Yeah,
just
there
kinda
would be
turn
like
it
a
up too
chord
high.
from there'd be like a chord from the
so it
bottom of your
wasn't
guitar
supposed
to
to do
like
that.
a tin can with a microphone in it, and then they would plug that into something, and you would get the tone. Sweet tones.
Yeah, just kind of neat sound. And now we replicate all those sounds with like pedals and effects, which sound cool, but they sound like they're made. You know what I mean? I like this guy's sound where it's like it sounds like he's just kind of like it almost like he just
and
some
got there,
random
and that was
equipment, plugged it all
your
in.
tone. Like that's how you
Like a Jack
that's how you
White
got
kind
your
of deal.
sound.
Like he's just
was
really
like,
good.
You know, you plug it into a bunch of equipment that a guy in your studio made. Yeah, I know. I don't own any pedals, but I know.
Yeah, for just because you're
Go
into
ahead.
music for the. Oh, I was gonna say just for like because they love the music, like they're just into it. You can tell
have to
because they're
just make
just
a
like
thing.
trying to make.
That's an
something.
interesting point. Like, The idea
Like-
of like just making a creative thing out of whatever you have versus like a very prescriptive process, trying to get to the same place. Yeah.
Just having fun with it.
Like
having
we do.
fun
That's
with
what
it.
we do there.
Like
Hi.
we do with our designs.
Happy.
They don't care if people like it. Jack White doesn't give a shit if you like his 2x4 guitar.
Happy Tuesday. It is July 26th. Welcome to the Hi There Show. We're here. We're live. We're designing stuff. Ian got a cool old guitar.
Oh, we're live.
Oh, hey there. How you doing?
Oh,
I
hey
just
there,
faded in while you were talking about
cool old
an old
guitar.
guitar that your dad gave you that's totally sweet.
yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Welcome to the show. We're here to design things.
Hey,
Slaying those intros.
hey, we're back. Yeah, this is great. We hope this is going well. We had some technical
As we do.
difficulties,
I don't know what it
as we
is,
do.
fellow content creators out there, but OBS suddenly
Yeah.
started eating up like half of my system. And we're only sending out like 2.2 megs per second, but hey, whatever. We're here. We're back in a series of conversations to destroy Twitter. We asked an AI what a better Twitter experience would be, and one of those options were to destroy it. So we're back here to prototype it. How's your week been, Ian? Have any good experiences?
Yeah, that's been pretty good. We both kind of we had some extra time off, and had a little vacay. So I have one extra day of rest and relaxation. So I'm ready to
I know
inject some technology.
We were both out in the wilds. I didn't really have any internet. I had ADSL internet, which is, I don't know if you folks remember, but it was like 256. Oh, it was brutal. I had to buffer YouTube videos. It was a thing. But we were out in the country, which is the important part. I saw Starlink. That was pretty freaking cool. That was a moment for me, seeing the giant spacecraft flying above our planet so big that you can't possibly miss it. When it was bright, man, it was like lit up, like bright. And I thought that was pretty cool. Always watching over us.
Watching over us from above. Technology. Well, you know what? If you were out in the middle of nowhere and you had a Starlink internet connection, you could potentially use
you
thing
could
that we were trying to make.
Okay.
You could use Twitter, but you know what? As we've discovered, we don't really think that you should be using Twitter. You should be using Twitter, at least to go and read tweets. Maybe you want to go and vent, get a little something off your chest.
Well,
yell into the void,
let's take a quick look at where we're at. I jumped into that a little quickly, but we'll go over it. So, how do I destroy Twitter? That was, I think, one of the questions we asked this GPT-3 AI, and that was the solution it gave us. I should zoom on this stuff. I'm gonna play cameraman. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to this question. That's a pretty normal AI response to something it doesn't understand. But it's the bullet points down here. A total cop-out. But it's these bullet points.
Yeah, that's a cop-out.
Twitter servers and deleting all of the data. That makes sense. I don't know if that's possible.
Interesting. That won't really we don't think that will destroy.
Yeah, they might be like, oh, sweet,
they can just rebuild.
This wasn't our fault, but all the data's gone, so we can start.
Cool idea, but let's
convincing everyone to stop using Twitter. I don't think anyone needs to do that. This whole conversation started with Ian and I talking about how difficult it is some days, especially when you're busy, to log on to Twitter and it's just nothing but bad news. Twitter's rough. I don't think we need to explain that point to anyone.
That's it. But everyone still keeps using it. So we're going to kind of need, and again, this is the challenge, but we're going to need a way to kind of, if we're going to convince people to stop using Twitter, I think we're going to have to give them something else to satisfy whatever they're getting out of Twitter. So that's kind of what brings us here today. But that's not all. We could spam Twitter so that there's so much content there that it becomes unusable. But
that's sort of it.
That's what Twitter is now. And we think it's unusable currently. So
how do you define
spam? No point in that. That's just contributing to the problem.
Well, because maybe it is.
I guess that could be a bit subjective.
Doesn't
spam
help,
to me would be
causes
stuff that's
issues,
completely useless.
shit posting, that sort of thing. Is that covered in spam? Because then I'm thinking like maybe it's more like 35% of all content.
It's unsolicited.
Is spam.
Well, I mean, spam email is just unsolicited mail. That's just stuff I didn't ask for. I mean, I guess if you're on Twitter, you're kind of soliciting spam and tweets, but technically all that stuff, you know, when I go on Twitter, I'm like, I didn't ask for this.
Well, hold on.
I didn't ask for any of this. But, you know, then I shouldn't be
really
on Twitter then,
Twitter
should I?
Experience lately
or am I
actually taking the time to mark like hashtags and topics and people and, you know, things as stuff I don't like. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear about the Freedom Convoy, and every time that's
you know
trending,
what? I tried that a bit.
This is spammy, and I don't like it. I think that's literally the language that Twitter uses there. This is spammy or harmful or like doesn't contribute. So that's cool because it's sort of like started to tilt the algorithm to give me more of the stuff I like design and illustration and. You apparently, because every time you post something anywhere on the internet, I feel like it's the very top of the list. We're too connected. It is kind of good. I bet you if I loaded Twitter right now, I would get your last tweet. Although you're much more active than I am. Ian's so online.
I forgot. I'm not that active anymore. I've stopped reading Twitter, and now I just kind of go on there to drop a tweet or two. I forgot to tweet that we were even doing this stuff.
Probably should do that. We're very into our own self promotion over here at the Hi There Show. But I mean,
Twitter. Let's see what the. Oh, I'm about to expose myself. No, look away. It's like the. No, don't read it. Oh, there's a horrible meme. Don't. Look away. I wrote my tweet in Word too.
Do you do that a lot? Because sometimes I do that. Twitter. I'm like, especially in Slack. The one that gets me is it Shift Enter or Command Enter to do a line break while I'm formatting a large Slack message. Because one will send it. It might get sent. Yeah. So
I write everything in Notepad
or something. Yeah, Notepad.
Yeah. I just have my notes open and I'm like,
I'm rolling.
I'm writing the document anyway, and I'm just like, oh, I'll write the email that goes with it right in here, or the Teams chat message. I try not to send any emails ever. That's my goal, to never send an email.
I think
we'll be like, when's the last time you remember getting an email from me? And they'll be like, you know what?
Never.
Honestly, never. Like, do I even work here? Right?
I think we're kind of.
Am I even working at all day?
You guys use Teams, don't you?
We do, yeah.
We use Slack. I mean, it's just there's almost no need ever. And now we've come to an era, I find, where Slack is so prevalent that clients will actually start to join Slack conversations because they're so familiar with it. So it's like, well, we'll create an off channel. We'll throw you in there. You know, we can post documents and follow-ups and et cetera, and we do all our meeting scheduling in there. It's wonderful.
Lucky clients.
My email is just reserved for people on LinkedIn who want to spam me to death.
Clients are the worst part about UX.
Okay. I might have said the users.
Clients. Can't live with them, can't live without them.
Need their money. I gotta have their money to work. I think that you're wrong, and the way that you're conducting your business is entirely inappropriate, but I need your money. I need that money. I need $500,000 to enact my plan on your users. That's pretty normal. So we got into the how over here.
Yeah. So, you know, the ones that work for us are convincing everyone to stop using Twitter and exposing Twitter's hidden secrets and flaws. But how do we do that?
I feel like that machine is just running itself right now. It is just, that company is churning out secrets and flaws. Well, isn't it all going to be in Elon's court date here coming up? He's going to make them expose themselves. bare ass.
He's not buying
was
Twitter.
Part of their...
He's not buying Twitter anymore, is he? That was just a thing he did.
Well,
to like get more money. That's what he does.
Yeah, he was just trolling and shit posting and trying to like inflate certain stock values.
Yeah, he inflates his stocks.
He did make a lot of money, but not enough to buy Twitter and
yeah, that was whatever.
Well, they want to force him to buy it, so they're bringing him to court, and part of that lawsuit is like, well, okay, you need to make the bot information public. Or not public, but you need to like bring the bot count into the trial. That's not going to amount to anything. They're probably not going to sue you with that information on hand, if they were making it up. Anyway, Elon's off Twitter as of 24 hours ago, I hear.
Did he quit or did he get banned?
He was upset that people were... Literally, he was upset that people were writing a lot of articles about him, and he's going to get off Twitter, is what he said.
Oh,
but not a ban.
Bad.
I'm talking like I'm watching. See, this is what Twitter does, because you just log into Twitter and you find out these things, and I had no reason to know that. I don't care.
Yeah, these are things that nobody should know about.
Nobody should know. I had some of the.
We need to do something about it.
Sorry about that.
And so anyway, we're trying to make an app that's going to convince everyone to stop using Twitter, or an app. We always say app, but really it's a service, product, whatever, a thing.
It's a SaaS,
an offering. We need to help people feel heard. That's one of the things that we kind of decided that, was something that people are using Twitter for when they tweet. We want to help make people still feel heard when they complain about things, but we don't want to expose everyone to everyone else's thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And how can we help people so we can make people feel heard, help people forget about their worries. This is kind of the angle we're taking for getting people off Twitter. And, the bot was actually really, I kind of had some good answers for these. Again, no surefire way, blah, 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 but helpful to provide positive reinforcement and praise people for their efforts for managing their stress was actually really interesting. So I don't know, that kind of led us to this idea of,
all right, you're pitching this. This is huge. We're in the room. Oh, let me make that canvas a little bit bigger. New Twitter.
What is it? It's a lot like your old friend, old Twitter, except instead of your tweets going into the void and polluting other people's minds, and then sucking you into that when you have to go to Twitter in the first place, your worries go to a professional that's qualified and waiting to kind of hear you and to and worry for you and let you know that it's being taken care of, and that the user can now kind of get on with their lives worry free. You're heard. The worries. This thing is being worried about on your behalf by a professional. I got this. I'm going to worry. I can worry way harder than you can. I can worry better and faster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's no point in you doing it too. Then I've got this. You've handed this off to a professional. Breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Right?
Sort of
and yes, pay me 12 Twitter credits. This isn't free.
No, we're gonna get there. Actually, we're gonna have to design a whole sort of microtransaction system around this. But yeah, you say your thing.
That'll get people in.
You say your thing, an expert hears you out. So rather than sort of taking your thoughts and throwing them into the void and letting all the monsters chew it up and spit it back out, it just sort of, and there's a scientific bent on it. Like, we had to go find a stock photo, but Michael G., he's a research scientist, and all that he thinks about is this. Maybe not research scientist, some sort of qualified counselor. He's holding a pink vial, and that tells me
no, he's a scientist.
This isn't some random person I don't know with horrible opinions that wants to sort of tear me apart. This is more of like a soft landing. So that's where we were.
These are trained professionals. This isn't therapy. You're not going to have a lengthy back and forth with this. It's not going to cost you a fortune either. You might you'll get a little positive reinforcement back again to know that you've been heard, and that it's taken care of, and that's it. That's the transaction. That's what you paid for, and we think it's a tremendous value. Putting my Shark Tank hat on. We're not doing this to make money. We're doing this to save the internet from the horrors of Twitter. But it does have to support itself, right?
We need to make money.
People that are going to work on this. We need to make money. Yeah, we have to be a sustainable enterprise. And so, putting my Kevin O'Leary Shark Tank hat on, I would say that this is very scalable. Very scalable.
Okay. And just keep saying scalable.
I would like to. Yeah, that's the profits will scale. And that's
profit scale, the server scale, the profit scale, the employee count scales. This is how we do startups, y'all.
We make 10 cents off of every transaction, and we'd like to offer you 5% of our company for $2.7 billion. Then we blow it.
We hire 500 people, and we either get bought by Google or we don't. So anyway, that's the plan. So I think where we left off here, we wanted to get into some prototyping this evening. I hope that preamble wasn't too
long. Yeah, it was way too long.
Did we just lose all 1,000 live viewers? So where we left it last time was, how do we make this experience sort of more connective? Like right now we've got sort of a really generic, like, hi, I read your tweet and just want to let you know that I thought it was interesting. We'll certainly consider it in the future. I didn't even read that until
I didn't even read that. Me neither. No, that's the beauty of placeholder text, is nobody ever reads it. And you can put literally anything you want. There's a tip for junior designers. Put some weird stuff in that placeholder text and just get a little kick out of it. Because no one's going to read it, and you can have a little laugh to yourself.
Get interested.
Real weird. Make it weird, like real weird.
I would say, for design juniors, a real tip is get real weird. Get interested in copywriting and read it when you get a chance, and write your own and put it into mock-ups, because holy smokes, you will be surprised at how many times that if you just kind of like reflect the vibe of your design by like adding copy that feels real, all of a sudden it's getting published and you're like, can I put copywriter in my resume? Technically.
They will take that text. But in all seriousness.
But you don't want to be a copywriter.
Yeah. Use real text when you can.
Yeah, use real text when you can. Make it weird. Remember they used to be, so Lipsum, every designer that's watching the show will know what Lipsum is. But there was this spate of 2010s like alternate Lipsums that were like, there was hipster Lipsum and there was like food Lipsum.
Bacon Lipsum.
Yeah.
There were some good ones. I was trying to find one recently because I needed some Lipsum for just a thing. For style guide, actually. And I wanted to put a funny one in. And I couldn't find any anymore. And I ended up with some like Neil deGrasse Tyson one that was weird. Not like disturbing, just like, we're just a tiny speck, like one of those like Carl Sagan type things. Pale blue dot. We're just a speck of nothing in a giant sea of infinity.
Yes, yeah.
If you think about it, your life is completely pointless. And then someone's like, wow, that was
existential content. How can you be sure that anything you're doing is contributing? What if you're the parasite?
You're like, and and so that actually sparked a great conversation that ended it up in us all talking about how fascinated we are in how tides work. Go look that up, folks. How tides work.
It's the moon.
Yeah, placeholder text.
It turns out. Cool. I want to get Mike G here so that I can constantly refer to it. So this is a mobile experience, I think. I mean, that's where we're going to start.
I think so.
It's mobile first.
Everything's on a phone these days. Phones and staplers.
I'm going to try and make this bigger. I've been presenting Figma while I talk lately, and everybody who is watching the presentation mode is like, hey, blow it up. Blow it up.
Do they ever say like, stop moving it around?
No, I haven't had that one, but usually when you're presenting, I'm just like sort of nervously explaining my decisions, my life, who I am, what I believe.
I finished my work today in a meeting live.
That's pretty cool.
And they're like, yeah, so
more and more.
Ian's gonna, I guess, finish that up. I'm like, I think I'm actually done. And I'm like, you can watch, if you like this, you can watch me and my friend tonight at like 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually sent the link. I was like, did you actually enjoy this? Because me and my friend do this.
Damn, I forgot you had mentioned that. We should have wrote an intro. We'll do it. We'll do it someday. Patient viewers. Imagine Twitter without the tweets, a mobile experience. I'm conflicted about this because Twitter is inherently a social experience. So as soon as you open it up, I mean, maybe post account, you're really hit with a lot of social stuff. But maybe we're talking about an experience that more just strictly focuses on you.
Yeah, we don't have to start it. We can start in the middle if we want to. We can start at the tweeting screen. Yeah, what would the screen be? Well, that's what it would be, wouldn't it?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. We can get people started. Maybe you know the correct term for this, but we sort of bait them by, you let them do the new Twitter, new tweet. And then it's like, hey, you haven't signed up yet. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a bit forceful for an app you just downloaded.
Right.
Okay, let's start in the middle. I'm explaining.
Yeah, let's assume you're signed up. That doesn't matter.
Let's assume you're signed up. Let's talk about the tweeting experience. Well, no, we should still do it.
Yes, we'll have to get there, but it's like, what's the challenge is, yeah, what is the, there's only like, I can only think of 2 screens, so this is going to be fun. You say a thing, you get a I mean, normally we would do a flow chart here, but I think.
Well, you want to break out to some flow charts? I'll do flow charts.
No.
Oh God.
No, I think
no, that's what I do.
We'll have to do that. Like if we were actually building this, like if we were making like wires to like develop.
Yeah. Probably, I mean, to be clear for viewers, we are building UI here, but we're talking about UX through making UI.
Yeah, and that's really how it goes. It always starts with some kind of idea that it sparks something, and then you work around and figure it out. But
maybe if you're being an ass about it, you could say this is a flow chart. If you put arrows between these wireframes, you get a flow chart.
There you go. It's a screen flow. There.
Yeah, done.
That's what I call them. But like with this, we got a screen where you can type some text and tweet it. Then you've got a thing that a confirmation screen, I guess, that says that thing you did worked. And then at some point later on, because there's a real human that's going to review this, you don't get an instant thing back, but at some point later on, you will get the thing back from our professional. In this case, it's Michael G. So that's kind of the 3. That's almost the 2 main screens, is the place where you tweet and then the place where you see what you get back. In the middle, we've got a confirmation. I think that then we'll kind of start to figure out what shakes out from there. What else we need, what other states, right?
Yeah. That's a good exercise, I think.
My name's Mike G.
My name's Michael G, and I'm here to say you had some great thoughts. Enjoy your day.
Anyway.
And then put some emojis in there. I mean, Michael G could be an AI. It could be.
If it got good enough, it could be an AI. Maybe that's the free version. You get an AI, and if you want a real person, you pay.
Well, I mean, we've got Michael G over here, and he's holding his test tube. He's a stock photo. I don't see anything on this screen that is saying implicitly that this man wrote this for you by himself. You know what I mean? Okay. It wasn't created especially for you.
All right. Well, we're gonna. We need to reinforce that.
This might sort of speak to the scalability question, but we can certainly revisit.
Well, I kind of was just saying that, That is a huge issue as far as scale goes, though. If we were relying on human beings to respond to these, then that's tough. But maybe that makes it more interesting and exclusive. It's like you can't. There's a waiting list to get on. Even it's like Gmail when it was like couldn't just sign up.
I think you sent me my Gmail invite. That was around the time there was Google's social platform too that nobody liked. I don't remember what it was called.
I remember when my friend had the invites and it was like, "Whoa, you're so cool."
Man, that's
how did you get them?
What was Google's social platform called? What was Google?
There was one called like Wave or something. There was a bunch. They had a bunch of them. There was like Google Plus, maybe.
Google Plus.
There was Wave.
That's a great name. Oh no, back then Google Plus might have sounded good, but plus with the plus sign next to thing nowadays means you have to pay more for that tier. You got Google, or you can pay for Google Plus. Is what that feels like in 2022. Yeah, they did. They were trying. It made a lot of sense.
It 100% does.
They were a tech company that at that time should have absolutely been in the social space. They just kind of didn't do it.
Yeah, why not? But the thing is like, even if it didn't go anywhere, they got everyone to sign up and input some data. So they still collected.
So, yeah, they're still collecting everything. Apparently, they get your receipts at the end of the day. Like when you go to the grocery store and you use your debit card, somehow that ends up in Google's hands, what you bought. There's a couple different ways we can look at this interface. The saying of the thing, which I think sort of captures the crux. It's a good sort of overall descriptor for the experience. I think you can have a text box similar to Twitter and you can say something and you have a button. You write in a text box and you hit a button. You could have maybe more of like a chat interface.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or maybe you could do something more similar to like Telegram, which is like works kind of like a chat app, so that you could go back and look at, other things you had said, maybe reread the interaction. Maybe you could like pay more for a follow-up on that interaction with Michael G. It's like 200 new Twitter coins and he'll expand on his thoughts a little bit. So like
the idea of seeing your old stuff's interesting. That's probably pretty relevant. I like the chat. Let's try a couple of interfaces. Try chat one. I'm gonna do the boring. I'm starting on the boring regular.
Okay, you do the boring one. I'm gonna take a look at the.
Someone's got to do it.
You gotta have that option.
Yeah, the chat one's interesting.
Comes to you and they're like, "We want Twitter," and you're like, "Okay, well here's Twitter," and all right, but what about this?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. Look, we're going to use our things we learned already. We make them feel heard. We offer a bit of positive reinforcement. And then we say, look, I hear what you're saying, but let me turn you on to this better Twitter thing that we have invented. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I tweeted something the other day and I lost my job because it was horrible and I'm horrible. And we're like, hey, we get this other service where you can say those things. That's a question. What does Michael G say when somebody says something offensive? What if we're creating a service where people can pay to say offensive things to other people?
Shoot. Well, okay. I think that's valid. What do you do with that? I think we're obviously going to need the way to like. There's obviously going to be inappropriate comments that come through this. We're going to have to block them. But figuring out what's inappropriate will be challenging because it's not public. So it's like, hopefully people don't, I don't know. I'm hoping people, I guess it's easy to hope people won't do it because it's not public and you have to pay. So what are you really getting out of it? But will it really be, it'll be hard to offend people en masse with this because you don't know who's receiving it. And it's not only one person sees it. So it's not a very good way to try and offend somebody. That's not that's probably not like a good plan.
No, but like, so
I'm just thinking out loud here.
Well, I mean, if you get no, but hold on.
Don't worry. Yeah, but what if people get seriously offended? Whatever.
It's like those people who review the images for Facebook. They're fine. They're always whining about all the images and the horrible things that they see and what it's done to them. Fine.
Just hire someone that's in a different. Just offshore it.
But like you say, like if the person who is saying the offensive thing doesn't get like a satisfactory response, there's not like a meme quality to it where a lot of people would start doing it, because it's like, well, Michael G might just be like, well, I've never.
And, you know, not to say that, and they're professionals, so they're going to be expecting it, and not that we like for them to have to receive it, but they will be able to handle a certain amount of kind of shitty things, and they're gonna have to deal with troubling content.
Well, that's why they went to school.
Risky,
but trained.
Yeah, they're trained. They're like, these are like content moderators that Facebook uses, but with PhDs. Okay, like it's going to cost like the salaries alone for each of these people is going to be like $400K a year. Okay, they're going to make as much as the president of the United States.
Whoa!
So we're not fooling around here.
Is that how much he makes?
Okay. Yeah, the president doesn't make very much.
Huh.
That's why he has to like do, help out banks and stuff when he's in power. And then once he gets out, they do like talks, and they pay him like $1 million. You get like $1 million to do a talk at your bank about nothing.
Yeah. That sounds like a good scam.
Yeah, it's called politics.
You know what? I'm going to put this little chat bubble arrow.
Oh, yeah, I was going to make one of those too, just for a fact.
I'm zoomed out of your thing at the moment.
Are we going to call it, what do we call this? Like, instead of saying tweet, we're not going to say tweet, are we? We're going to have a new name for this.
So far, I'm calling it New Twitter and their new tweets. But yeah, you're right. I feel like we're going to have to get
that's all stuff that gets figured out.
Boop. If I grab these two objects,
and then it
little Figma tip. If I grab these two objects, I've got these. I've got a chat bubble and the famous little triangle in the corner to let you know it's being chatted to you. I can use these Boolean functions up at the top, union selection, and boom, it's one shape, which is pretty cool because I can handle like one shape. But also, we're in Figma, so I can pull these shapes apart if I really need to and isolate them. But for the purposes of now, it's one shape. So cool. What were you saying, Ian?
No, I love that. I forget. It just mesmerized me.
That's that good stuff.
No, I was saying that's how it usually goes. We say, oh, we'll figure that out later, and we never do, and then that's when your Lipsum text just stays in there.
Gets in there.
We came back around. We see how I circled back to that?
No, you got it. That's good storytelling.
Wonder if I can, when you're working on this, if I can steal it. Oh, I can. Cool.
You can definitely copy and paste it, I think.
I just did, yeah. I just drag, copied, stole it.
Okay, I gotta get this framed back up. Sorry, I was zoomed in working on a component.
Yeehaw.
Oh, so I kind of feel like you land in here.
Like a little shark fin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like we can go anywhere. Like there's obviously like the first time user experience, then like multiple tweets, and what happens if
it spirals out from there.
If it tweets over several days, that aren't connected to each other. But yes, I'm doing the same with mine, and that I'm overthinking it already. But sorry,
yeah, I'm making dolled up wireframes here. I won't take it too far, I promise.
No, take it as far as you want. That's my new thing, is like do whatever if it makes sense. Like you can, I like I try, I try not to do it all the time because it's like Process, it's important, but also I think you need to be able to kind of logically move stuff around if you need to, like, to get the work done. Especially with us, it's easy. At work, sometimes I don't know what to do. Where it's like, there's other people working on it. I don't want to try and just like, I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I just changed my mind all of a sudden.
Yeah, no. I mean, your decisions are researched, right? Like, that's the whole design thing. Is like, no, I've made these decisions. They are the culmination of my professional opinion.
But then sometimes someone says, like, what about this? And I'm like, actually, that's probably good too, and it's easier. Let's do that. So sometimes it's like, yeah, we were planned on this, but let's try this instead. I'm like, okay, why not? Sometimes it works out
when you're younger because you have a lot of like ownership over your creative idea, like your solution to it. But yeah, people have a lot of good insights. And you'll be surprised if you listen. All right, I'm having the problem with the chat interface. So I guess we open that up with, like, hello.
Hello, it's okay.
I actually like that.
I like it. That looks really good, actually. Like the color and the font.
Graphic. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can work that other blue in here, maybe. I actually just really like this as like an opening panel. That's the login screen.
It is, yes.
It's okay. You're going to be fine.
It's okay now.
It's all right now.
You are home.
You are clicks away from somebody hearing what you have to say. Bold, huh?
Very. You gotta be. You gotta be confident. I'm trying to figure. I was gonna put that here, but it's like that should be. We're sharing. I love how we share each other's designs. I'm gonna take this circle.
Oh
shit! I literally took it.
Hello, what's got you worried? I mean, is that enough of a question to get people going?
Yeah, for now. Yeah.
But the sentiment's I'm trying to think about how this... Okay, this probably needs like an avatar or something. I don't think that in this particular panel you're talking to a live person yet. This is just like an interface that gets the chat-like experience going.
Yeah. Yes. It's the prompt. I think it's good. This needs to be a different color.
That's going to be someone's avatar. Hey, here's a fun tip. For you Figma-nauts. This circle... For all you Figma heads out there. We've got a circle here. I want this circle to be an avatar. So...
Me too.
Me too. Me three. Let's try and find someone to put in there. Who should we put in there? All I can think of was like... I don't know. Let's just look up...
I don't know, an emoji? That's some face?
No, let's look up person, because we want it... It's Michael G. It's not like a fun avatar, so I feel like even if you're speaking to a computer, like, and it's part of like an experiential thing, it still needs to be represented by a person. So I have Google imaged person. I got The Rock. Okay. I got The Rock.
No way. Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. His father.
Nice. He's an actor.
Near us, and everyone talks about it all the time. That's all we got. All right. So, I have a circle, and I want it to be an avatar. So we'll take that ellipse, and make it a frame. Option Command G, And then we can tell that frame to clip content over here on the right. And clip content basically means that anything we put in this frame will be clipped. So I can paste that photo in. Yo, what? It's some lady's nostril.
Whoa, there's The Rock's nostril.
I didn't go with The Rock because I'm worried he might sue us. Oh, she fell outside of the frame. All right.
Yeah, that's true.
This is going horribly. I'm just going to resize it, and then I'll put it in
It's sometimes I can't get stuff to work because it's too big. And Figma's like, no, you can't be trying to put that in there. That's too big, silly. You dum-dum.
Why can't my frame be circular? Ian, I was through a really good soundbite tutorial.
You can round the corners of it.
Yeah, you're totally right. So we're clipping that content and we'll round the corners. We'll give it some values. So it's 30 by 34 by 34 size, 34 by 34 pixel object. So if I make those corners 34, you can be damn sure it's going to make a circle. So now you can take that component and paste any image into it. Here's an old businessman, and his eyes look
really good and handy.
In different directions. Screenshot copy.
Let's see your business guy.
And on and on and on. Cool tip. Cool Figma tip. It's that clip content option over on the other side. It makes it super easy to just jam in photos. I actually have this cool plugin, Ian, called Duotone. So say this is a wireframe and we don't want it to be particularly colorized so it doesn't look final. We can go to plugins, Duotones. I can grab a couple color values from these objects. They can see this on the stream. You can't. So if I select her and hit apply, she is now colorized like the design. It doesn't look overly real. But yeah.
Oh, I can see it. I have Duotunes.
Duotunes plays 2 songs at once.
Damn you, Tommy Two-Tone.
I like your smiley face over here, but also. Hello, son.
If I don't,
what's got you?
If I don't like
he doesn't want to hear what you have to say.
He's like, Marto, maybe you should just toughen up, walk it off, son.
Yeah.
I don't. Can I randomize my person?
Sure.
If I don't like the physical appearance of my warrior, can I switch them at no cost?
Wait a second. That would be a good Figma plugin. It just takes people images from Pexels or something and populates however many containers you want with different people. It's called People.
That definitely must exist because that was a plugin in Sketch 5 years ago.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, called Craft. You could import data. So yeah, you could get pictures, you could get addresses, usernames. Yeah, just pump in a chunk of repeatable content for any type of thing.
Yo, okay. Sorry, that's a rabbit hole. I just looked that up and it definitely does exist. That's super handy for me because I don't want to go find avatars or think about it or pay.
Oh, and the cool thing now with auto layouts is you can have negative space between items. So you could do that thing where you have a bunch of avatars stacked. I don't think we'll have a use case for it here, but you know what I mean? Where there are a bunch of circles on top of each other. Like this.
Yep.
Oh, it's not gonna work. Hold on.
No, you have to use your.
Let's just see what happens. Let's just actually do it. Auto layout. Yeah. Cool.
You can do that within an auto layout.
Yeah, but then it won't be an auto layout.
Then it's not automatically laying out. Yeah, you can do that. I actually did a prototype once where, say it was something like this. I'll just fill in some text. And I'll make that very, very small because it's massive. So it was sort of like a live social interaction component where when somebody liked something, this image would fall off the end, these would shuffle up, and a new one would appear.
Like your picture?
It.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
And the way that we...
Probably only...
The way that it worked was these images, like, so you see 1.2k likes, and that ticker will go up and down because that's live information. But the avatar pictures you're seeing are not real. They're just random stock photos because it would be too much pressure on the server to keep serving up real avatar images and for you, the user, to download them. So really all you need to see are some avatar-ish images moving with your face getting added to the pile, and it completes that interaction, which is really interesting to me. Anyway, way to derail this whole thing, Ian. Oh, you got a paper airplane thing. Okay. I'm trying to... I want to work in the microphone here as well. Maybe it's a system.
I'm trying to... I'm just trying to think of a fun way to say send. Get it out of my brain. These strokes, 1 point. Like send away your worry.
I feel like, as you said that, I was thinking about this because my chatbot is also saying, hello, what's got you worried? Are we focusing too much on worrying?
Probably should be what's on your mind, right?
Yeah, what's on your mind? What's your most persistent thought lately?
Send it away. And the fun with this kind of app where there's not a lot of where there's not a million screens aside from settings and shit that you'd have to eventually make. We can have fun with the fun screens, what happens when this sends. I don't know how much you can prototype in here, but do a little animation or something and a cool screen that comes up next. With your chat one, we could do some cool stuff. This page looks cool. All kinds of cool things we could do.
Yeah, we're making cool things. That's what we do here on the Hundo
Show. We need that that thing that you use that generates people. What it's this is not a real person. Is that what that is?
Oh yeah. So there's a Twitter bot,
and it just creates a human face. What is it? Yeah, describe what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it creates a human face. That's it. No, it uses an AI to generate photorealistic humans and give them a name and a country of origin. And that's it. A lot of times they look like indistinguishable real photographs of just people. I'm assuming, it would be copywritten by the person who made it, but that fake person, they can't possibly have any rights. So that's a good... How long until we just have AI generate models for ads? Why pay a model if you just have a computer spit it? Anyway, that's why.
Yeah, well, there was that Instagram person that was Lil Taylor or something like that. I forget the name. It was Lil something, and it was some brand was using her as a fashion model, but she was an AI, a CG thing. I don't know what happened, but it was this whole big thing at the time because it was weird. And it was new and interesting, and it was nobody, she won't age, and you don't have to pay her. Somebody owns the human,
and she's perfect. Okay.
I'm just looking up some icons or illustrations of people because I don't like this guy's face. That's better. One. Look, I got this worried guy.
This actually. Hold on. Oh man, that's just me getting ready for the meeting. The thing that Ian was talking about is called "This Person Does Not Exist." They're on Twitter. This is one of them, which looks pretty darn real to me. His name looks like a Matt. Hey, I'm Matt. I really like soccer.
I like soccer, girls.
I'm really into soccer and girls and the beach. My hobbies include checking out the beach.
Yeah, checking out the beach.
I like disc golf. Actually, disc golf seems kind of fun.
I suck at frisbee so badly that I'm embarrassed to even throw one.
But they're on like a different level. They're not like throwing it like you would. We would. Okay, I like how he's sort of smaller. Oh. Maybe you can get them both in there together. Hello, what's got you worried? So, I mean, I'm trying to make an initial screen that sort of not baits you, but like, because you know what you're getting. But it sort of sets up the experience. Maybe this needs a little bit of a gradient fill.
A little gradient?
A little gradient? Yeah, that's a little more dynamic looking. And so you're confronted, in my experience, in my version of this experience, as soon as you log into the app, before you're asked to log in or do anything, maybe not. We get the chat experience. So you immediately know what you're getting. I'm chatting with a bot. See, this isn't vibing.
I mean, if there's a bot, maybe it'd have to be a distinction.
This kind of feels like I'm talking to a real person, and that's what we want. Obviously, that's the point of what we're doing here. But also, that's not really a sustainable...
This isn't the real person. This isn't the real person that's talking right now.
Are you a real person? I'm not.
I don't know. I just keep having conversations on the computer. People ask me questions like they're trying to determine if I'm a real person. It's like we're all just on the other side of a Turing test.
Aren't we?
What else happens on this page?
I don't know. I'm going to pipe up because I'm just adjusting colors and I could do that all night. This is a wireframe. This is a wireframe for all you UX purists out there. We're doing a screen flow.
I guess I'm going to copy this and just try something else. Can you go for it? We can take a break soon too.
Yo, actually, we are off our break.
Refresh our memories.
Refresh our memories, our hearts, our spirits, our souls.
Yeah, not really refresh our memories. Recharge our brains.
I like to have a drink of water. What? Jar Jar got in there? All right.
I'm leaving this for when we come back.
We're leaving it for when we come back. This is new Twitter. This is the service that's going to replace Twitter and make your life on the internet better. All right, we're going to take a quick 3-minute break. We'll be right back.
I'm here to shuffle up the deck. You'll probably think I'm famous cause I got a blue check. I remember playing ball up in Montreal, Quebec. The richest people that I met, they said they really were from Czech. My sales pitch is deadly, so you better consult. If I'm a rap, then I figure I would give it my all. Cause I could rock a 16 better than Paul Gasol. I'm like a pager with the shot, with a basketball. I got more love for the game, like Sanaa Lathan. My flow is game changing, like the audible from Peyton Manning. Good luck to my haters, because success is taken. I got a nice career going, I got some nice money. If I don't follow my dreams, it will forever haunt me. My only option might be playing in another country. I started from a city where it's sunny, crummy. I started from the bottom, it was nothing. I don't need no type of recognition. If anything, I'll get suspended for the views that I'm spitting because it causes friction. They'll probably say that I'm speaking in reprehension like LeBron when he left Cleveland. I don't need any permission to express my feelings. I dreamed it, this is my premonition. They try to recondition Christians through these new inventions. The reinvention of religions through these televisions. Shit is different. I ain't with it cause the shit is wicked. I'ma weather the storm, I'll never surrender. Learning from my ancestors that took the fall like September. My skin color getting judged like fat versus slender. If I was transgender, I'd get praised like Bruce Jenner. I'm not here to judge cause in the end, we all sinners. At least in God's eyes, the only vision a real mirror. Take them blinders off and you'll see a lot clearer. It's not about yourself, you gotta see the bigger picture. Yeah. Hold up. If money is happiness, then why is it suicides? Are they stressing from bills or a loan that was subsidized? When I turn the news on, only bullshit gets publicized. Neglection of different wars, skin colors and genocides. Is it conspiracies or is it organized? Good people get crucified, the evil gets sanctified, glorified through the media and the clothing lines. Why when I ask these questions, people look so surprised. Gotta question everything like Joel Osteen's mentioned. Some people wondering why people getting held for ransom. Endorsements of violence in every single rap anthem. That's the key to making your album go platinum. It's easy to make money, but it's harder not to spend it. We all guilty of it, it's a constant hypnotism. I guess it's safe to say that I'm the new renegade. I wanna dedicate my music to the people that always hate. On the track of Ruler Y, only the strongest survive. Yeah. Jay Kirk, let's make it work.
Okay.
But yeah, I was reading this thread and it was like, how does everyone in the city deal with their green bin? because they're kind of gross. And like, what service would you recommend? And I saw somebody post,
okay,
I just leave it open and the raccoons take care of it. And then all these other people piling in going like, yeah, me too. And I got to admit, I have this big raccoon and she goes in my green bin and she doesn't make a mess. And thank you. Sure. Have at it. It's all you.
Cool. Let's lick it clean for you. That's a good idea. I'm going to go kick my green bins over tonight.
Let's go kick them over into the street. And the animals will take care of it. They'll eat your... That's actually probably not good. There's somebody listening going like... But I can't stop them.
Yeah, those idiots.
I can't stop them.
I'm Googling now. It's like, how much caffeine in used coffee grounds? Like, well, if a raccoon eats my, like, pile of grounds, will they get, like, ripped on caffeine?
I hope. That's
how much caffeine doesn't get into your coffee. How much caffeine do you get out of that bean?
That's just how raccoons get by in this workaday world. That's how raccoons work in tech. They eat those good grinds.
They're addicted,
and they get totally.
They probably
jacked
eat
up.
They eat coffee grounds and then eat some cigarette butts. They're addicted. Coffee and cigs.
They get their coffee and cigs. They have half a sandwich at lunch. And that's how
Gotta
they
have
do.
my Nick fixed.
And they work.
Yeah,
up,
well,
they work at a tech startup.
Nicotine. Yep. Yeah, and nicotine suppresses your appetite. So, doesn't it? So if you eat, you eat some cigarettes.
It makes you horribly sick.
Yeah, eat a few cigarette butts, and you don't get as hungry, so you can work more. That's a strategy that they use. They don't tell you, like, all the stuff you hear about Silicon Valley is only like the glamorous stuff, right? But there's a lot of shit that people do to get by there, man. It's like, it's a real knife fight out there. You know, it's hard work.
I know this is part of the raccoon joke, but you're not kidding. It probably is kind of hellish. Hyper competitive.
I mean, you know, there are people that probably live in their cars. I don't know if anyone's out there eating cigarette butts so that they get less hungry. But I'm sure people are doing something that we would find as shocking. I mean, I'm confident in that.
I'm not here to judge how people get by.
Nope. Not at all. In fact, you know what?
What?
Tell us all about it for only $1. Yeah, I eat cigarette butts to get by.
We are the raccoons. The raccoons getting addicted to the cigarette butts and the coffee grinds. The perfect case study for this. And what we're asking you is, what would you do if you were the raccoon? Imagine Twitter without the tweets. The hardest part of using Twitter is writing and reading other tweets, so we want to make an experience that's better than that. I'm opening mine up with, hello, it's okay. You are going to be okay. And then maybe the button says something like, all right, I'm ready. So we put the onus on them, right? Is that an auto layout to that? And then,
let's go!
Let's go!
Yeah! Fortnite!
Nothing in the
ding,
world...
Bunch of...
Nothing in the world makes my partner cringe more than saying "let's go," like the YouTube channels that our kids watch.
Oh, I like it.
Hey, I'm here. Let's go. It's universal and it's perfect.
I want to start using it at work.
So I try and work it in as much as I can. The rice is done. Let's go. That's me flipping it. And like many of you out there, I have a 9-year-old son who's pretty into Fortnite, and I didn't know that this was happening, but he does all the dances now. And I know this is like old news, like kids have been doing Fortnite dances forever, like who gives a shit, but like it's entered my household. It's a part of my life. I know the names of them. And he's pretty good. All right.
I can't wait to get him to show me. I really want to ask him to show me a dance next time.
He can just bust him out.
Yeah, because he could probably teach me one. And I would like to know a dance, but I don't want to try and look it up myself. And I also want to ask him what dance I should learn, because I don't know anything, and I'm afraid of being led astray online by these kids. Like they could be just pranking me. right? I don't
No,
know
well,
what's
yeah, that's
true.
a safe environment to be like, yo, what dance should Uncle Ian learn to feature on, you know, my TikToks? And then you get yourself moving. You probably have 1 million subscribers by nightfall. All right, I'm ready. I want to ask the users to confirm that they're feeling good about it. I'm hopelessly addicted to eating desserts.
We want to make sure it's important that they have the mental capacity to kind of be doing what they're doing, right? I see it. It's almost kind of like some kind of mindfulness thing or something.
Mm-hmm. Maybe this. Okay, that's a different conversation. Maybe this whole thing is a mindfulness exercise.
Like the raccoon.
But again, like, what if somebody wants to say something positive? We're sort of banking on the idea that nobody says anything positive ever.
Yeah, and no one's saying anything positive on Twitter. No, they are, but you know.
Yeah, there's some.
Heck.
You're going to be okay. Okay? All right, I'm ready. This is kind of a little more mysterious, you know.
I like the raccoon.
Yeah, no, I got the raccoon in there to sort of describe what's going on. I'm hopelessly addicted to eating discarded cigarette butts and eating old coffee grounds in an attempt to starve off hunger so that I can continue working at my tech startup. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
It's just placeholder, right?
Yeah.
Like I said. You make that a placeholder text that if someone takes the time to read it, they get a reward. Or they get something. They get a feeling that they might not be able to explain until they talk to their therapist.
They get a shocking statement that they're going to think about for the rest of their day. You know, to make this sing, I'm just going to throw a carrot in here. A carrot being the selector that you see on
the typing thingy
indicator.
Yeah, and this is actually the typing blinky thing. This is the point in time where I might, depending on who I'm going to be showing this to, I might actually pop like the keyboard up on the screen, like grab that from like a component, one of those things.
Yeah, I wonder.
Just so like, just so like, you know, we're just concepting here for you and me, but when you're doing stuff like that, I always find like you got to try and make it as real life as possible. So it's like, no, like the keyboard's here, they're literally typing right now. Like you added that the carrot in, the cursor thingy that's blinking. That's another good indicator. You know, just to make it like, no, this is step by step. Like if we actually got this into like, you know, if we actually were going to present this to other people in a prototype, which I think we're absolutely going to do at the end of this.
Yeah, no,
we would have to make all those screens. Like that's where it's like the last step. It's like, it doesn't matter now. We obviously know the keyboard comes up when you tap into this and you type stuff. I don't care about that right now. I'm more interested in the idea, but for all you viewers out there, when you are presenting things, it's always good to not skip steps in like prototypes. You click this, the keyboard comes up. You type a thing, you can't get. Oh wow, thank you. I just opened a tab. This is going. What is that? I've never seen that come up before.
Wait, how does that work? Like, so in some instances you might have this field, right? Like, am I making that up, or
this is an old? This might be an old keyboard, or no? Okay, this might be the new keyboard, right? Because the microphone is usually.
Camera. I can't even use it.
Because the microphone's usually in a different spot, isn't it?
I don't.
Yeah, it's usually next to this. On mine, it's next to the space bar.
There are many different keyboard layouts. I do know that. Like, there's one that's like tailored for writing in your email, etc.
Yeah, but the microphone button wouldn't change spots. But either way, it doesn't matter for right now. but that is a good thing to note, though. The microphone is part of the keyboard. So common thing people will ask for is like, oh, make it so that you can talk into your phone instead of typing it. Even for like when I'm working on stuff where people are searching, like a short thing, people want to type it in, so, or talk it to type it in. So if we're doing a longer thing, probably even a better idea. And so the good thing is, I guess we're kind of thinking iOS here first too, which is usually the case. But
yeah, I mean, yeah,
it has the keyboard, it has the microphone built into the keyboard, so we don't need to do anything to make it. So if we were actually going to make this, we don't need to design or develop like a voice recognition thing, because at least Apple already has it.
Well, yeah, it's a bit inherent. But so I hear what you're saying, but like experientially, I want to make this whole gray background bigger, but I can't find it. There it is. So right now we're prompting them to say what's on your mind. You could make this a voice only experience, and is there validity in that? Is forcing people to say their thought out loud rather than typing in a different vibe?
I don't think, depending on where they are, they might not be able to talk.
Yeah.
That immediately made me think of news articles that are only videos and how people hate them.
They do hate them. Because they're usually full of ads, and it's not the kind of video I'm looking for.
Yeah, I clicked the link to try and... I clicked the link to try and read a thing.
All right, so I guess when we're talking about ScreenFlow, there it is. So we're starting to get like our hooks around like an experience. Still haven't asked anyone to log in or do anything.
That's fine.
Maybe no matter what you say, maybe no matter what you type in this box, they're like, that's interesting. We can have like experts that can help you for X amount of dollars.
That would be a good dark pattern.
That's a dark pattern.
Get them real far. I'm sure I've seen that before in things.
They're already into this. It's kind of a mysterious, they've heard of it. Do I have that Twitter bird backwards? No, I don't. It's an image. All right. Never mind. Back to it. Sorry. So we gotta.
I like it.
We have to qualify. This is a very like direct, sort of, again, mysterious, vibey experience. But I think that if at this point the landing page, we're going to prompt people to do a thing and they need an account, we have to do it here. And if we're asking them to get an account, we have to give them a value proposition on this screen. Not that we have to, but do you know what I mean? Like, right now it's like, all right, I'm ready, and you can dive into it and you're playing with a thing, and that's typically what users like. I'm getting a little metaphorical, not metaphorical, but a little, I guess, deeper than we need to go. But if this screen, hello, it's okay, you were going to be okay? If we're asking people to log in, sign up here, there has to be more information than this to get people to sign up. Do you know what I mean? I'm not making any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what it should be though yet.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm hoping it comes to me or us.
Makes itself clear.
Yes, but yeah, I do agree. Yeah, is like, all right, I'm ready. Is that a button that says, yeah, do we need to people log in there? Oh, one thing. Yeah, I was going to say, like, what happens when you type your message?
Yeah. Okay. That's where I'm at too. I don't know. How do we get people to pay?
And the one thing, the nitpicky thing that I noticed was that the speech box, this one is like for the messages that you send.
Oh, you're right. I got it backwards.
Thing on this side.
Yeah, no, it should be.
Well, we still need this. We still need this one. But yeah, I was just like, what's that again? What goes on what side?
How do I align that? I don't know if I'm vibing with the chat box. Because what?
No?
It makes sense from like, I'm going to say a thing to a person standpoint, but in terms of starting an experience that has other features, like there's a microcurrency here. We want people to pay for it and be able to tip and stuff. There's a history of your questions, because I feel like if you're paying for them, you should be able to go back. Not questions, your statements. I feel like you should be able to go back, and this type of UI is not going to service that.
I'm going to write those down before I forget.
Write what down?
First off, those features.
Yeah, a feature list would be good.
I thought I had a sticky note file somewhere.
I mean, there's an easy way to deal with like all the other things that apps do sometimes in mockups, and it's 3 little dots.
Well, I was going to say,
you take like 3 little dots and you put them next to each other, and
you put a menu.
You make them opaque, and then you just put it in the corner, and people are like, "But what happens when I want to do this?" And you go, "Just hit that context menu up there."
Exactly. That's the kebab. That's the kebab, right?
I've never heard that before, but I can't wait to use it. Is it kebab or kebab, though, at that point?
I don't know.
I don't
know.
I don't know.
I mean, usually you see that. I usually see that as an overflow menu. Like, usually you don't see that alone, though, do you?
No.
Like, it's usually next to other items, and it means there's more.
There's more,
but
or
the idea is there's obviously some other places we need to go with this, and I forget what them already. That's why I was writing it down. God damn it. History.
Do you have a feature list?
Account, obviously. Yep. Account's gonna have payment. History. What else do we need?
We could probably do a whole episode on like figuring out like how the microcurrency should work, or microcurrency.
And for the sake of the show, we have to make it a little bit ridiculous.
No, we got to make it a little ridiculous. It wouldn't be fun if we worked on an actual app.
So we gotta.
Think I can make a gear icon in Figma? All right, I'm gonna make a gear icon in Figma.
Tweet plus reply history. That's all we have. That's all we can think of for now.
I'm making a gear icon, Ian.
Let's do it. I'm gonna find a better paper plane icon. I know exactly what I want. I typed in send, and that's what came up too. Thought that was kind of cool.
The paper airplane, I like it.
It's a little too complex. Let's get the simpler one. I wanted one where it looked like it was in motion. I'm not trying to like attach to any kind of paper plane theme either.
I like the paper plane theme. Like maybe you get a video of Michael G printing it off and reading it. And for more money, you could have it bound into a book or something. I was
gonna say, like, if we're not doing the chat, or I think we should keep exploring the chat view actually. But I was gonna do the other version where it's just like a sendy thing. Kind of looks bad right now, but that's okay.
19 by 19.
The next page of this would be
Man, buttons need to be huge on mobile. I hate that. I don't want to
big buttons.
Oh, because I was doing pass through. Yes.
Thank you. Oh, I need a proper paper airplane icon. I'm thinking out loud. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted.
Found it?
Yeah, I just wanted like this. Wanted something that looked like it was like sending, just to signify like something that was sending. Woo! Look at that little twirly twirl. I'm gonna make that white. Oh. Whatever.
So there's like, are you thinking like there's a state where it's like your message has been sent, like check back to be notified when it's been received?
I mean, I think that needs to get communicated, but how that happens, I don't know. I'm just trying out if we didn't do a chat view because you said you weren't vibing with it. So I was like, well, what would would the non-chat, which is kind of more basic, right? It's like, here's a message, you hit send, and there's got to be, your thing is, what does that say? What is the person supposed to do next? I guess we would have to send them a notification, right?
Oh yeah, push notification. Like when it comes in, you're gonna want to know so that you can read it right away.
Whoosh.
Whoosh. Your message
whoosh,
has been sent.
It's out there.
We'll get back to you soon.
Someone's already used the whoosh, I'm sure. It's like we want to be a little playful, but you don't want to. I guess we don't. And again, we're just playing around here. Nothing's final, and we don't have to have all the answers up front. But I'm thinking about the tone, and it's like we want to make it a little friendly and playful, but we probably don't want to go like super fun. Like we don't want people to think we're like not taking them seriously. Is that a concern?
Well, that goes back to that tone question of like, is it an app about
we don't want to be
worries, or is it an app about being able to speak your mind and be heard?
I think yes. Yeah, that's still in my head and still up for discussion. But in my head, I always go to it's more like worry / negative things, even if it's stuff on your mind. Like it might not be a worry. Mm-hmm. It's when people are like freaking out on Twitter, like tweeting into the void, it's kind of a panic moment. Maybe it's not like a worry, but and again, I could be.
I've caught myself doing that before, where you're like crafting a tweet and you're like, "This is just me complaining."
Yes, I know. I do that all the time too.
You're like, well,
but even that, and so that said, it's like that kind of is what brought us here. To begin with, that seems like a good hypothesis, is that people are using Twitter to like just tweet out their worries and problems and things that they hate.
Worries, problems, and things that they hate. Perhaps those are all worries. Perhaps those are all worries, Ian. It's the Tendercast at the Hi There Show.
What's got you anxious? Their anxieties, worries. Whoosh. And this is where you get into the production design of things, where you have to like down the line design the things that ask people for their notifications, and then you do it the nice way, where it's like, oh, we're about to ask you for permission for a notice because we're going to need to send you your thing. I actually like it when things do that before, versus just like, hey, we want to send you notices. It's like, well, for what kind? So do you know what I mean? Like when there's like a custom designed panel or something.
Yeah,
it's like you're about to get asked for that. You're about to have that notice pop up thingy.
It makes me think too, or reminds me too of like even in a relatively simple experience, it's like you can open this app and type a thing into a box and it tells you something back. Quickly spirals into dozens of templates that describe each of these behaviors. What does a notification look like? What does the notification say? If you've asked people to accept notifications, is there a settings panel where they can change that? You know, et cetera, et cetera. Our professionals are on it. Take a load off. Okay, this is happening. Et
cetera, et cetera. Take a, load off. Take a lot off, yo. Spelled it wrong. Figma not having spell check has burned me a few times. Probably shouldn't have spell check, but professionals are on it.
Is there not a Grammarly plugin?
I don't know. Take a load off. We'll let you know. No, I don't know what we'll let you know. When
our professionals are on
we have
hold on, the problem might be we'll let you know. Take a load off. Our professionals are on it. Take a load off. Okay, hold on. What about this? It's our copywriting exercise. We are on it. We're on it. Take a load off. Yes, we'll let you know when our professionals have assessed your thoughts. Or something like that.
But sounds when our highly trained professionals have
I guess center it over here. It should be like continue or something.
What's that?
Hold on, I'm gonna shift these panels into frame real quick.
Okay. I need to go to the thesaurus and type in whoosh.
Zoom. Fly.
Not zoom. Yeah, fly. Did you mean whoosh?
Squash.
Yes. Buzz, effervescence, fizzle, froth, hiss, as in fly. Yeah, I did want fly, actually. Sail, glide, flutter.
Hiss.
Hiss.
Wouldn't work
there. Whatever.
I'm just like playing with your stuff while you're talking about it.
I need this button, and then it's like, okay. This okay doesn't have. I write okay with AY now, like okay AY when I write it.
Okay.
Just in like when I'm talking to people, because I worked with somebody that did it that way, and I noticed it, and I'm like, I like that. I don't know why. I'm just like, that's unique, and I noticed it, so I stole it from them.
When I get okay AY, I hear like okay. Like
it does feel a bit snobby, but I did it anyway. Maybe I'll have to stop now.
No, I didn't mean to ruin it. Sorry. My bad.
I was just like, she's being a little, and she was kind of a smart, very smart person. And I was like, that's probably like the right way to do it. You know what I mean? I bet somehow that's correct. I'm like, that's cool. It's cool when it's cool when you're a snob like that. You do stuff, right? Everyone appreciates.
Just do whatever you want, and it makes
when you do better,
people like uncomfortable. Like it makes most people uncomfortable, but then when you're
better than other people,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
I hate
that one.
I hate when there's like a widow in this text. There.
Yep.
Do the thing, you know, it's supposed
to.
I guess we should like figure out what our margins are going to be.
Your gutters?
Pixels. I usually just make it 15 or 20. We're not doing
anything in like an exact capacity. This is actually so much more designed than we should be doing. But I don't know.
It's hard not to with Figma though. I find even when I'm doing wireframes now, it's halfway to production almost because it's just as easy.
Well, you and I had a conversation not too long ago when it was like, I'm the one doing the design. Like, who cares how low fidelity the wireframes are? And hopefully, I mean, I know for me, if I've done like an ideal scenario with a project, that information hierarchy work and the copywriting and stuff is done to a point where I'm not necessarily thinking about it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of how I think. Like in Figma, I to some people it's blasphemous to make a wireframe a color. But it's important, I think too. Like, do you ever do napkin drawings? Like just like super simple wireframes?
Yes. Yep. Even then, it's like I've built up so many components now that I can, even then it's hard because I'm like, you know, like if you had a product listing, like if you had a search results and there's like your product, it's got the picture, title, add to cart button. I got a bunch of versions of that. So it's like anytime anyone's talking about anything to do with that, I just drag it in, be like, oh, like this. It's like hard not to. It's hard to do it too napkin-y. Which is good for me because I suck at drawing. My napkin drawings look like garbage.
Yeah, mine are too, like whiteboard drawings. I think that kind of like hyper low fidelity wireframe really works conversationally or for like pitching ideas, but I can't like deliver a document to a client like that.
Exactly.
You know, it's gonna look probably something a little more like polished.
Indeed. Yeah, totally. Well, that sounds like a good spot to like wrap her up for today. We've got a start to some things. I think it looked kind of cool. It feels neat. We got a couple concepts, you know, we're just kind of vibing it out.
Yeah, I like it.
We got some stuff we know we got to account for.
We've been talking about this for a few episodes and it feels good to finally look at it. I have like a million ideas.
Yeah, I think me too. Next week, I'm probably going to want to start over. Not really, but my favorite part is the starting screen. I think it looks dope and that's a fun.
It's weird. It's weird to me in a way. Like it could be. It's like the unknown app on the store. It's like this weird app shows up and it just asks you if you're going to be okay, and you can like say things to it, and it's like thank you, and nobody knows what it does or what it's for. And then it gives you a location to go, like Randonautica or whatever that one was, where you say something to it and it's like thank you, we've heard you. Please proceed to this location at this time.
All right. Further instructions await.
Yeah.
Like what? We could create like a big movement. Yeah, and then that's how we get back to the Fight Club thing. Right? That did come up.
Fight Club thing? I'm in.
No, well, part of it was, I think we kind of got into it with the AI there, where it was like maybe we just like. Yeah, we literally destroy Twitter's servers with some kind of like Fight Club style.
Okay.
Like demolition.
Yeah, like
where we'd have to get like
scene,
a bunch of people together.
Like the final scene with Ed Norton and oh my gosh, Tim Burton's wife. Anyway, it's Marla and it's Ed Norton and the whole thing and everything's coming crashing down, but it's me and you and it's the final episode of this podcast.
Yeah, that sounded hard, so we're just making an app instead.
That is really funny. Back in Fight Club days, the only concern was like credit card corporations. It's like lol. It gets way weirder.
No one's. Yeah, no one's. They're not even on anyone's radar now.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for another week. That'll wrap up another Hi There show. We will be back next Tuesday to keep talking about this stuff. We're gonna keep playing in Figma. I love doing this, man. I love just like jamming on designs, and we don't get enough of a chance to do it just regularly.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm kind of excited that we're like barely scratching the surface of like we didn't. I don't want to say we didn't get far because I feel like we did make good progress, but as far as final designs go, we probably didn't get that far. But that just means we got more fun episodes ahead of us.
I think that's it. And I mean, to part the curtain on it a little bit, we've talked about this a lot, and like, it's almost like trying to achieve a certain amount in an episode would be silly, because all we're trying to do is just like hit a goal instead of just having interesting UX conversations, which is really weird. Like, I know we're talking about this bizarre Twitter thing where you're going to hire a person to listen to your thoughts and blah, 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 blah. But it's fun to talk about what login buttons do and what sign up buttons do and how these interactions play out. So we certainly hope you're enjoying it. That brings us up to time. We'll be back next Tuesday. That's it. Have a good one.
Yep. Keep YouTube. Yeah, come and enjoy the journey with us, folks. Send us your ideas and suggestions. You know, we might consider them unless they're terrible.
Yeah, if they're really, really bad, we won't.
In that case, we don't.
In all honesty, we would love to design your stuff on the show. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. You can also get in touch with us at thehitherShow@gmail.com. That's thehitherShow@gmail.com. Otherwise, that's it. Frig off. Bye.
See you.